You'd think YouTube legends are friends, but these two got into a fistfight over who's the alpha male, another sued a fellow creator over a YouTube comment, and Penguin Zero's beef with Pokimane ended an entire company. But before we get into those, let's begin by talking about Jidion and Logan Paul, who despite being friends for several years, ended up beefing over a small comment.
How am I two-faced? How am I two-faced, Logan? I wasn't the one laughing when Jake was making fun of me. I wasn't the one laughing when Jake was making fun of me.
I make one comment to ask your corny ass to switch seats so I can enjoy my day.
That has nothing to do with it. It's what you did with Jake. That's all it has to do.
Prior to getting into a beef, the two YouTubers had spoken very highly of one another.
By the way, Jidion's not only a friend, but he works with us with Prime as well, and so like I got a lot of respect for this guy.
Crushing it.
Yeah, he's great.
However, when the two met at a UFC event in April of 2023, what started as a friendly encounter would soon turn into a full-blown feud. The two first met when Logan Paul took a seat next to Jidion at a UFC event, but after learning that Jidion would be live streaming himself throughout the event, he requested him to switch seats as he did not want to be on camera all night.
And that's all. Would you two want to switch seats with us just because we don't feel like being live streamed all night?
And although Jidion willingly complied and switched seats, he seemed quite agitated by the request.
I mean, we were there first technically, but it's all good.
Yeah, I know.
I'm not tripping. It is what it is.
For the very same reason, Jidion's chat was not having it, and as a result, roasted him pretty hard for bowing down to Logan Paul's request.
And he was fine with it. He moved. But the internet was like not really like nice to him about it. I think he got like a lot of shit for it, or I don't know.
Like, I don't think you guys realize how much shit I got, but like I got so much shit, and it was like it's cool when it's just like jokes. You feel me? Like people saying Rosa Parks, like that's funny. You feel me? Like I don't mind that, but like it's the people that like take it like to that next level.
Roughly 2 months after this incident, the Paul brothers would go filming together, and Jake Paul would go on to mock Jidion when having a conversation with his brother.
Thank you for being here today. Yo. Can you move to your left a little? I'm not fucking Jidion, bitch. Just because we want to let Zach sit down, and you're kind of taking up the space. Do I look like fucking Jidion? Huh? I'm your own fucking brother. I'm not a fanboy like Jidion who's like, oh yes, Logan. Oh yes, Logan. I'm your own fucking brother, bro. We can go toe to fucking toe.
These remarks were met by criticism from Jidion, who questioned the validity of Jake's toe-to-toe statement, arguing that maybe he wasn't in a position to make this claim.
Oh, okay, Jake. You can go toe-to-toe with your brother, all right? So, Jake, why didn't you keep the same energy when he fucked your girlfriend while you were still dating her? Why didn't you do anything about it? You did nothing about it. You cried to Shane Dawson.
Things became even worse when Jidion would go on to react to Dillian Dennis's trolling tweets about Logan Paul's wife on his livestream.
I sucked a in a football stadium full of people once.
God fucking damn it! Fuck!
Which resulted in Logan Paul snapping at Jidion following their infamous backstage encounter at a press conference for the much-anticipated Logan Paul versus Dillian Dennis UFC match.
How am I two-faced? How am I two-faced, Logan? I wasn't the one laughing when Jake was making fun of me. I wasn't the one laughing when Jake was making fun of me.
I make one comment to ask your corny ass to switch seats so I can enjoy my day.
That has nothing to do with it. It's what you did with Jake. That's all it has to do. It's what you did with Jake.
My brother. I defended my brother.
But why won't you defend him with KSI?
Bro, he's my business partner.
Okay, obviously, okay. Hey, I see where your loyalty lies.
You mad two-faced.
No, I'm not two-faced. I'm real when it needs to be real, and you don't deserve to be real too.
Yeah, right, bro. You
don't deserve to be real too.
Ever, bro.
Hey, you got another fight. You got a whole nother fight to worry about.
Jidion would eventually walk away from the confrontation, although he was still angry at Logan Paul.
Hey, I know who I got my 100K on now. I know who I got my fucking 100K on. Fuck Logan.
Barely 2 hours later, Jidion would announce that he'd be walking away from his partnership with Prime as he didn't feel appreciated by both Logan Paul and KSI. However, fouseytube's beef with Jack Doherty was even more heated after the two got into an argument over who's the alpha male. The two had agreed to collaborate on a live stream session together alongside Neon and the Island Boys, and although the night began with a shower of compliments from fouseytube to Jack Doherty, it was apparent that something was gonna go wrong.
How old are you? 19.
How long have you been on YouTube for?
7 years.
That's your Lamborghini?
Yeah.
That's your McLaren?
Yeah.
This is your house?
Yeah.
Good fucking shit, dog.
Appreciate it.
However, after learning that Jack had made his fortune from making prank videos, Fousey would go on to force him to agree that most of his pranks had been staged.
Do you do real pranks or fake pranks? Be honest.
Yeah, it depends on the.
They're fake as shit.
Video.
Be honest. Own
Depends
that
on the video.
shit.
You know, like
Own it. Your pranks are
real.
fake. No, which ones are real? Show me a real prank right now. Not
Why
one
you
that you
say
get
my
people
pranks?
money.
It's not that deep.
It is that deep because
Why?
you're trying to stand on something that's not true. You're trying to build your
I
business.
told you how it
You're
is.
trying to build your business on a lie. F your Lamborghini. F your McLaren. You're a liar.
Dude, yo, that was the craziest switch up I've ever seen in my life.
Fousey would get into another argument with Jack after learning that he worked with an OF model that was present in the building.
I want girls doing OnlyFans.
Why is that your problem?
Because that's fucking up the youth. That's making little girls.
What
watch
if
them and
if
think
God
they
was
need
like,
to
I
sell
don't
their
want
tits.
guys
doesn't
coming
believe
out
in
here and
OnlyFans.
just trying to like shit on
No,
everyone for
God
no
loves
reason.
people like me.
Does
I
he?
take down Satan. I'm an Andrew Tate. I'm the Andrew Tate of the new generation. I'm what you
I just
could
don't think
never
coming
be.
off like that is the best way to do it.
I don't care how I come off.
All right, come off then.
This argument would go on to last for more than 20 minutes, with Fousey doubling down on his disdain for Jack Doherty's personality. The argument would eventually turn into a physical altercation after Fousey decided to throw water at Jack for calling him a beta male.
You're a little bitch. Oh, you're a bitch.
The situation would then escalate into a fistfight, with Fousey swinging back at Jack for making insulting comments. By the end of the night, the two could still be seen arguing as Fousey was getting into his car. The situation would end with Jack threatening to take legal action against Fousey, which was an ending also shared by Ninja and Pokimane after their back and forth during the Jidion Twitch ban scandal of 2022. The beef started after Jidion sent his Twitch followers to raid Pokimane's stream, with him urging them to spam the comment L+ratio on her chat while she was streaming.
I have more people in my live stream than Pokimane. I have more niggas in my live stream than Pokimane. Everybody say L+ratio. Follow her right now. Follow her right now. We're gonna be back, y'all. We will be back.
And with everything happening in her chat, Pokimane decided to end her stream early, stating that while she could handle the hate train, she did not want to subject her community to it.
Not in the game.
Who is Jidion? Okay.
Who's Jidion? You know who Jidion is.
That's embarrassing. And if you get banned, I'm
Nice
gonna be
shots.
sad.
As a result of the stream raid, Jidion would receive a 14-day Twitch ban, which was later upgraded to a permanent ban, which prompted Jidion to send his community over to Ninja's stream to ask for help in appealing the permanent ban. However, Ninja would respond to the plea by stating that there was nothing he could do.
I promise you guys, there's literally nothing I can do. There's negative things I can do.
Although he eventually stated that he would text his Twitch representative for help regarding the situation.
I could send a text message to my representative and be like, from Jidion says he's sorry. All right, I sent the text. I don't promise a goddamn thing.
The interaction would soon take an ugly turn after Ninja told Jidion that
In the future,
Okay.
nothing negative. If you're gonna ratio bitches, and that's not. You stick to Twitter.
although he would later clarify that he didn't mean bitches in a derogatory manner. As a result, Pokimane would respond to the whole situation later on in her stream.
You can't run around raiding bitches on Twitch. I wonder if Ninja would have said bitches if it was a large male streamer that was hate raided, but I digress. He then says, "The most I can do is text my Twitch representative about this." And then he proceeds to do just that. Why Ninja would help someone evade a ban for harassing me, I have no idea. I genuinely don't know. Maybe to appease Dijon's viewers.
Pokimane would also reveal that Ninja's wife/manager Jessica Blevins had messaged her, telling her that Ninja did not call her a bitch, and added that Ninja did not support Jidion's actions, nor did he say that he was going to help Jidion get unbanned. However, Pokimane would reply by stating that that's not how she saw the whole thing going down, and that she would have appreciated a different course of action from Ninja both privately and publicly.
Regarding the DMs between Dijon and Ninja, it hurts to see Tyler being so friendly with someone who has done such heinous things to me publicly and unprovoked. It would have meant more to me if Ninja messaged me himself, especially if he was aware of how his bracket intended or not bracket endorsement of Dijon's behavior has added to the harassment that I've received.
Jessica would go on to double down on her words, stating that Ninja never texted any Twitch rep, although this would only ignite the feud as Pokimane would go on to play a clip of Ninja saying that he was down to play with Jidion once his 2-week ban was over.
I am still down to play with him. Yeah, I'm gonna wait until he's unbanned. I can't play with him while he's banned.
Pokimane would also state that the clip where this happened had been deleted after she messaged Jessica about it, but she had downloaded it before it was ever deleted after seeing other clips of Ninja's streams getting deleted. Pokimane would then go on to send that clip to Jessica to prove her side of the story, although Jessica would continue holding on to Ninja's version of events, stating that he never tried to get Jidion a lesser ban or texted his Twitch rep regarding the situation. The back and forth texts between Pokimane and the Blevins would not stop there, as shown by Pokimane on her stream, where she would go on to show several texts from Ninja stating that, "I swear on my grandfather's life, who just passed away, that I didn't text my Twitch rep and you are making a big mistake." However, things would only escalate from here as Pokimane would take it to Twitter with a screenshot of a message from Ninja's wife stating that they viewed her actions as defamation of character and were considering getting their legal team involved. Without sufficient evidence to back her claim, Pokimane would result to admitting that she could not prove whether or not Ninja did send a text to his Twitch rep. Ninja would respond with a tweet stating that all will be explained, although he would later delete that tweet. At the end of the day, Jidion would reach out to Pokimane and apologize for his actions, effectively bringing the streamers' feud to a close, something that Logan Paul and George Janko had no interest in doing. The two had appeared alongside one another in Logan Paul's Impulsive podcast, where George Janko was the third host alongside Logan and Mike Miluk, and although George had always had his differences with his two other co-hosts, the three would always keep it under wraps while filming the podcast. However, fans would eventually notice that George always felt like a third wheel, who tried hard to fit in and was often left off conversations a lot of the time.
Hold on, you ain't gonna ask me a question? Oh, damn.
He waits. He likes to wait until he's got the
Bro, you
question.
tapped me in play mode and I broke my hand. What happens if I ask the wrong question and you punch me?
And when he did get the chance to speak, he'd often come up with out-of-topic jokes and comments that would often fall flat on his face.
Listen, man, I read the Bible a lot when they talk about David and Goliath. I've never seen a giant, and so like I'm literally just, I'm a little taken.
You've been sitting over here for 30 minutes and that's all you can freaking say? Fucking kidding me.
Now he's not gonna say
That's the question. Jeez.
Things then turned sour for the three hosts at the end of 2022 when George walked out on the Bobby Lee podcast episode, and they got even worse when Logan attacked his religious beliefs in a boys-only episode. In the wake of these events, George would go on to start his own podcast in January of 2023. Over the following months, George's presence on the Impulsive podcast would keep dwindling down, and in April of 2023, it was made clear that George had officially left the podcast amid a heated feud between him and Logan Paul. Both parties would make subliminal comments directed towards each other throughout the following months.
I love this outlet and it exists because people watch. And without people watching, I just have a show like...
Although not much was exposed following the fallout, George would on multiple occasions mention that the Bobby Lee walkout incident had been edited to make him look bad, which was strongly opposed by Logan Paul and his fanbase.
That Bobby Lee episode was edited, and they made me look like I wasn't a comedian that can't take a joke, even though every episode they make jokes on. And the reason I walked away was definitely not put in there. They very much made it clear that I'm not allowed to speak up about things.
However, when George released this podcast episode with Mike Miluk on the 9th of March 2024, the tide would instantly change, shedding more light on what actually happened between the two. In the episode, George would go into details about how he was sexually assaulted by Bobby before the walkout.
He started the episode putting his balls in my face. I let that one go. Then every 2 seconds, he kept grabbing my dick. I don't think, how would you feel if a man that has his back completely towards you, that only turns around to grab your dick, talk shit to your face, and you can't smack or beat the living bricks off of this guy?
Which was followed by a revelation that it was common for Impulsive to cut out segments of their podcast if they believed it was necessary to protect the reputation of their guests. George would state that this is what they did for the Bobby Lee episode, even though Logan knew it would paint him as a host who couldn't take a joke. Even before the episode was ever published, George would raise his concerns about the issue.
I looked at Logan, I go, Logan, this is gonna make me look really bad.
No.
And he says, I don't give a fuck would you look like? Bro, come on, dog.
With Logan going even as far as to force George to apologize to Bobby Lee publicly for a mistake he didn't make.
I want to apologize for my behavior on your podcast. I feel like I was a little...
Bobby Lee, you shut your mouth. I'm apologizing to you. I left you. You were our guest. And I left you, Bobby.
This is good.
I will forever regret that for the rest of my fucking life. There's not a day I will lay my head on that pillow and not know that I disappointed a prince that does stand up like you. Do you have any idea how ashamed of myself I am?
However, in the recent podcast episode with Mike Miluk, George has now clarified that the reason he did it was because
Logan makes me apologize to this man, or I don't have a job on Impulsive anymore.
George and Mike talked about a lot of issues during the podcast, the biggest of which was finances. According to George, after Logan criticized him about religion in December of 2022, the show's views hit rock bottom and he was only getting paid $5,000 per month, while Logan was posting screenshots making $11 million per week in a group chat. This comment prompted Logan to hit back at George with a 4-minute TikTok video explaining his side of things.
I had to start my own show because we're not making money on the show and I'm getting pushed out.
You made money on the show.
I can show you my books. I was spending 10 G's a month being on the show.
All right, let's talk about this. Obviously, I wasn't on the podcast to represent myself, so I'd like to clarify a few things that were said. As well as having his own credit card, all expenses related to the show were paid for, including all travel and lodging. Obviously, George's total reimbursement came out to $20,000, 317 cents. I'd love to see any books that show otherwise. Spending $120,000 a year to be on a show is a little confusing.
However, his explanation would later be debunked as a PR response that was designed to paint George as the villain.
Logan knew that the general public would see that money, freak out and be like, whoa, that's so much money. Clearly George is lying or George is being ungrateful.
At the end of the podcast, George would extend an invite to Logan to hold a sit-in session to resolve their differences, although he is yet to accept it, further prolonging this 2-year feud. However, Charlie's conflict with the queen of Twitch, Pokimane, was even more detrimental after Charlie criticized Pokimane for calling her viewers broke idiots for raising concerns over the price of her Midnight Miner cookies. When Pokimane first launched the cookie line in November of 2023, she marketed the product as a healthy snack for gamers that she'd been working on for over 2 years. But once her viewers looked closely into the product, they realized that it was almost completely based on a white label product that was discontinued. On top of that, Pokimane was selling her cookies for 3 times the price of the original product, at $28 per 4 packs of cookies. To make matters even worse, Pokimane went on to call the fans who complained about the price of the cookies broke idiots in a live stream.
People are like, oh my god, $28 for cookies? It's 4 bags. That's $7 a bag. I know math is hard when you're an idiot, but like if you're a broke boy, just say so.
Upon hearing that, Penguin Zero would call her out, stating,
I just assumed this had to be some kind of bad joke she tried to tell, but watching the clip, it seems like she's legitimately upset and actually just calling people that don't want to pay for it or can't afford it broke. Well, yeah, nobody's forced to purchase your product or anything, but they were having a legitimate discussion on the price just being a little out of their comfort zone for what they'd want to spend on it. Like, it's a discussion her own community was having, and then she just, out of nowhere, out of left field's like, if you're broke, just say so. It's like, what the fuck?
Charlie would also state that Pokimane's remarks were rude and disrespectful to her viewers, especially since her wealth was built on their backs.
And the really foul part about all of this that my little noodle will never be able to wrap itself around is a streamer calling their audience broke or poor. Bub, your wealth was built on their backs. Them watching you supplied you with money through the ads that get played to them. Them directly donating to you took their money and gave it to you. If they weren't watching you, you would be getting no sponsors, which make up a lot of streamers' income. You need them, and you are dropping trouser and shitting in their mouth right now by just insulting them over them having legitimate criticisms over the price point of the product. It makes no sense.
He'd also state that there was no way of justifying the price of the cookies, as the product was simply priced out for most snack lovers.
It is a lot, even compared to other healthy alternatives, because I do get healthy snacks. I know what a lot of these prices are. This is still an expensive product. I wouldn't be paying $28 for a 4-pack of cookies unless that came with 5 strippers and legitimately every vitamin and nutrient my body could ever need, and then guarantee that I'd get 3 inches taller by the time I finish the 4 bags.
Charlie's honest takedown of Pokimane's cookies significantly affected the sales numbers, which prompted Pokimane to apologize for her actions in a Twitter post stating, "While what I said was 100% intended to be a joke, I see why it came off as insensitive and I apologize for that. I also understand the current price of the cookies may be expensive for some, and promise we'll continue to consider pricing to keep mine as affordable as possible."